It is September 15th, open day of bow season. Just got off work. Gonna blast the base layers and the stuff in the scent crusher closet with the ozone because I drink the Kool-Aid of scent control and say what you want. That's what I do. It's an awesome opening day. It's like 66 degrees, windy, clear. It's significantly cooler today than it has been for the last number of days, number of weeks, so it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to getting out and getting up in the tree. Hopefully put something down. Alright, well I think I'm going to set up this tree right here. It's a good tree. Killed a deer out of it last year. It's overlooking this kind of grown-up CRP field that's like 20 yards behind me. But on the edge of it, there's kind of a buffer area that's like 7 or 8 yards wide. It's like medium growth shit, and there's like a ton of trails that are cut through it pretty hard. Wind's blowing down the hill, so I'm on the downwind side of this field. My thought is that anything that'll be skirting the downwind side of the field before it goes up into feed will either be in this kind of thick tree line behind me, or maybe just in this buffer area that's right here in front of me. So, well, left my saddle in the truck. Luckily, it's only like 400-yard walk back to the truck. I was planning on wearing it in because it was a shorter walk, but so I left it out of my pack. Last year I kept it in my pack. I'm an idiot. I also realized I forgot extra camera batteries. I'm at 21%, so hopefully I don't have a ton of footage that I can't film because my battery's gonna die. So opening day, hiccups, it's expected, still frustrating. I'm gonna run back to the truck. Good thing I got here early. So alright. Before I ran back to my truck, I called my wife, had her check my scent crusher closet, and turns out I forgot my fucking saddle in the closet. So that's awesome. It's an hour drive. Looks like I'm hunting from the ground tonight. It's okay because it's super thick back in here, and we've had encounters on the ground with deer back in this thick stuff behind me. And these little tree lines between these fields, so maybe I'll just try to find a ground setup. I don't have a tripod for the camera, so maybe I'll try to strap it to a tree or something, but I'm gonna go get set up on the ground. I'm gonna push further back in here. If I can't hunt the field edge, I'll try to catch him coming out. So it's off to a bumpy start. That's gonna wrap it up. It's September 17th this morning. 3:40. Just woke up, took a shower, got off work at midnight. Woke up at 3, took a shower, got the truck loaded up. Gonna go meet up with Dakota. Walk into a congested tree line locked area where we've been getting pictures of some good deer lately. And we're gonna go kill a deer.
What's up, buddy?
Sup, dude?
Ready to get after it?
Are we?
Yeah.
We are.
Perfect weather, dude.
It's fucking pretty chilly. See any deer on the way here?
No. I'm actually surprised, though,
Yeah. Saw a couple.
because I've been seeing them.
And shoot in here and hopefully get set up without too much fucking hassle.
Let's do it.
All right, first
Sit.
actual saddle hunt.
First actual saddle hunt of the year.
Boom. Let's go. Good luck, oh boy. You too, buddy. Get it. I'll see you when I shoot one. I hope so. It's about 7 o'clock. It's a beautiful morning. I didn't do an interview when I first got in here. I've been set up about an hour. An hour and 15 minutes. Felt like I had deer all around me. I don't know if I did or not. There's lots of acorns falling. I'm in an oak grove on this hillside. I think we got deer coming.
It's 10:22. Just had those 2 does come by earlier, and then a third doe, probably an hour and a half later, came up on this hillside behind me. I couldn't get any footage of it. I could have maybe taken a shot at a little doe and skipper right behind me here, but it would have been ugly, and I forgot my camera arm, so whatever, no biggie. Hopefully got it on the GoPro. But the GoPro's all fucked up too, so that's just wedged into the sys strap. I'm pack out of here, meet up with D, figure out what we're doing later for the afternoon hunt.
Trying to shoot this and this. I was like, oh, well, that's where the deer are, right? So I freaking like move over, swing this way, so I can still shoot this, and I could shoot this if I need to, if they came back through.
Yep.
And then I start hearing leaves moving over here. So then I like turn back around, and there that deer goes skirting up that way. And I was like, dude, we're in a honey hole.
A lot of deer in here.
There are a lot of deer in here. I should have known better than. If it was been daylight when we came in here, we could have looked and seen like that. Cause you see there's tracks all through here.
Yeah.
They're just skirting this little like clearing.
Coming in blind is always hard in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't know, you don't know. But yeah, they were literally just like that. I mean, if that one was another, what, like 10 yards this way?
Yeah.
Money shot. Same thing with those. Still early. It's only, what, 11 o'clock?
It's only, September 17th.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
We're good.
In the day, though.
Yeah.
Let's go eat.
What are we doing?
So, creek bed.
Yeah.
There's like a little finger here coming off. There's a shelf. We're gonna follow the river up, walk up the ridge till we find some sign. Find some sign, hopefully some acorns, some rubs. We're gonna set up. We're gonna split up. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're gonna do once you set me up on the ridge. I'm not good at this, man.
We're gonna change. It's a new virgin piece that's been unexplored. We're about to pillage it like Vikings.
Oh, see, see, that's way better.
Yep.
Well, we're taking a break as not to get too sweaty. Probably 700 yards up this trail, up this mountain that we're kind of, not really a mountain, kind of a big hill. It's a big hill. Like 700 yards up it. Just trying to pay attention to the wind, where we think the bucks might be bedding at. The sign that we're seeing on the way up has all been kind of relatively open hardwoods with some light undermass stuff coming up, so no hot sign that's jumping out in our face. We're trying to figure out how to set up on a couple points that come off the peak of this hill, so we can both be effective and hopefully see something tonight. We've never been here before. We don't know. We'll never put boots on the ground in here, but we're learning as we go and trying to figure out our best plan. So we're gonna probably ponder here for a while, stay cool in the shade. We got up to like 65, 68 degrees. We're gonna try not to get too grossly sweaty, and then figure out a game plan. It's 2:20, so we've got time, but not a lot of it. Just got set up high as a book in this tree, per usual. About 30 feet up. Kind of in this little flat. I bumped a deer off of right on the spine that comes down off of this hill. Probably about 300 or 400 yards down the ridge from Dakota. So there was a deer here. I bumped it off early. It didn't blow or anything. Did some turkey calls in my mouth after. Bunch of oaks in here, some good security cover. Not a ton of sign. Most of it's raked up, old sign from last year, but we'll see. You never know what can come out. It's been a good day thus far anyway, so.
He's howling at me from down the hill. Well, not at me. He's mocking me from down the hill. Letting me know I still missed him. Yeah, I know. It's on footage. That fucking bastard. I hope he doesn't come back up here. I'll tell you what. Well, that's gonna do it for the night. Just missed that coyote. Dakota texted me, said he had a doe in front of him. It snuck up on him and he had to hold back on it for a long time. I guess he missed too, so we're gonna get down here and go talk to him, figure out what the hell's going on with our accuracy tonight. Not very good. What happened?
Feeling a little sad.
What happened?
So,
You got one lit.
yeah. She's got her head down, she's browsing. And then over here, just past this tree, I had a clear shooting lane, right? And I'm like, as long as she keeps browsing, she has no idea I'm here, I'm good. She's got her head down. She had no idea. I'm like, everything's fine. Grab my bow. I turn. She just starts to break that tree. And then she turns around. And I'm like, I'm staying like this, right? And I stop because she's got her head up at this point. I'm waiting. She starts coming back this way. Again, right about where you're standing, I have a shooting lane. So I'm like, all right, no big deal. So she's about to clear this rock. She has her head down. I knock an arrow, right? Or I hitch my release.
Yeah.
And right when I do that, she freaking snaps. Not like even looking in my direction, like looking up at me.
Yeah.
So I'm holding like this. I haven't drawed yet, right? And for what felt like, it was probably seriously like 7 minutes. It felt like an hour and a half.
She was looking through your soul.
She's looking through my soul. And I was like, I will wait you out. It was like, what was it? 5:40 probably.
Yeah.
Like, I got plenty of light left. I'll wait it out. So eventually she finally looks down. She starts walking this way. I draw. I'm watching. I'm waiting until she gets to my shooting lane. She gets to my shooting lane. She stops, and then she looks at me again. Like, looks at me. Not in my direction, at me. And I'm like, damn. And I thought I had good sight picture.
You shoot over her back?
Yeah.
Huh.
And my arrow,
He's in the quiver.
yeah, I had to dig it out. But
It happens.
I'd rather miss than wound her.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, it's Wednesday, September 21st. Just got dropped off at the spot on the side of the road here. Truck's getting worked on in the shop, so I had to have a buddy drop me off. Brian, thank you. Good man. He dropped me off on his way home from work. It's 4:14 p.m. right now. I just got changed up roadside, leaving my stuff right here on the side of the road. I'm going to walk into this piece. Found a white oak grove in here last fall that had some big ass white oaks in it. Looked like it had been hammered early season, but by the time I found it, it was pretty much dried up. So hoping that they're in here. It's still early season, hopefully still dropping. It's about a 700 to 800 yard walk in. Winds out of the west. It's like 63 degrees. It's a little bit warm, but we're going to try to sneak our way in here without buggering out too much. Kind of read the sign as we go in and find a good spot to get set up. Hopefully smash one of these early season deer. So stick with me. Let's go. Pretty pumped up. I just got to the white oaks. I bumped 2 deer that were bedded down in here. The way it's blowing at me, it sounds like it's a bigger deer, so it's probably a buck. There's 2 of them. Fuck.
Top of the morning to you. It is 3:22. Just left the house. Gonna go meet up with Dakota. Shoot back into a spot that we tried last week, and we both ended up seeing deer. They skirted around us on the outside edges of these little openings that we were hunting over on this knob, where we just suspect that they're going back to bed. So we're gonna try to get in there too. There's been a few bucks in there, a couple does that we know of, so not picky today, shooting anything in this first spot. I don't know about where I'm going in the afternoon, but got the kayak loaded up. Hopefully it doesn't get stolen from the back of my truck in the first spot that we go, and we're gonna make a day of it. See you when we meet up with Dickie. What's the word, son?
Well, we've been here before. It's about going to be 44, you said, right?
Yeah.
Fairly windy. The past couple of days have been super windy. Last time we were in here, we both saw does, like 6 of them. Between the two of us. And everything was just either couldn't get a shot on it or was a little bit too far away. So I think if we adjust our setup a little bit this time, we should be right where we need to be, as long as the deer are moving where they were. So
We'll see.
we'll see.
All right, let's go.
It's about 20 minutes into setup. It's a little breezy. Came back into the same general area where I saw some does last time. Just tweaked the tree a little bit. Feeling good about this morning. Should be good. I don't know where the fuck that thing came from, or where it went. Popped up on the trail at like 30 yards, just fucking eyeballing me. I don't know how good a footage I got of it, but pretty sure it's a big doe that skirted me the other day. She's like an old, weary, like, I don't know. Old doe. I don't know if she caught my wind. She hasn't blown. I did watch her stand in the same spot for like 35 minutes last weekend, just behind us here. So I don't know. I tried to do a couple doe calls, but we'll see. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and then head down. It's about 9:30.
All right, well, it's about noon. Got done hunting this morning with Dickie. Dickie didn't end up seeing anything. I just had that one doe come in and kind of dip back into a thicket. I don't know if she bedded down or skirted away from me, but wasn't able to connect with her. So on to the new spot. We're gonna take the kayak, kind of drag it into this big ass swamp, and then bring it into the back corner of it where there's a bunch of big islands, in case there is any bucks that are out bedding on the islands, if they're working their way back into the mainland, into the open hardwoods during the evening. I'll catch them. Just gonna send it and see what happens. It is September 24th. Season's early. Let's go. Alright, so here's the deal. Just kind of bushwhacked our way through these little beaver trails with the yak here. Got pushed up onto the side. Gonna make our way off into this tree line. Follow it up on the edge. Try to get to a point over there where these big islands that run out into the swamp and all filter back through. There's a couple of them behind it too, so I'm thinking if there's any deer back there bedded out on those islands, that'll make their way back up into the hardlands, or the hardwoods rather, up on the hillside, try to come in from downwind. It's pretty gusty today. Or I might just set up as an observation set to see if I can't see anything in the swamp moving around. Anyway, it's a cool spot. I'm just gonna see if I can't fucking squeeze through here without getting too completely soaked. We'll see. I just got fucking wet, boy. We're set up in a tree on the edge of the swamp that I just fucking scoured through. I got fucking up to my thighs, both legs on the way in. So sentinel pants are soaked, rubber boots are filled up, socks are wet, sloshing. I'm just kind of sitting on the inside bend. There's a few islands out in the swamp in front of me, and I wanted to shoot the transition line in between the islands and this main land, but it's like 15 feet tall, and there's just no good trees that I could get in to shoot that transition. So I'm just on the inside edge of an outside corner. So we'll see. I mean, it's good. There's not a ton of sign in here, but hopefully anything that comes off the islands up into the mainland, or anything just working the swamp edge, the downwind side of the swamp edge, will walk right by me, hopefully. there was 2 does that just came in. I only saw one of them. The other one was back in the swamp a little bit, but I don't think they caught my wind. The wind is blowing up in my face, but they both bounded off. They didn't blow or anything. I don't know if they saw me moving. The sun was shining pretty bright on my camera. It's kind of black and shiny. So, I don't know, we'll see. Still early. Just turned 6 o'clock. Watch those does putt around for probably a half hour, 45 minutes, hoping that they would come in. I shoot a doe in here. It's be a lot of work to get it out, but that would have been a layup shot, and I would have taken it. So we'll see. We still got some time left. See what happens. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. Just those does. I think those bucks got up off that island. I heard a bunch of blue jays calling right at sunset. But it's still 400 yards away, so I think if I want to be in the game, I'm going to have to get out there with them. Get wet again. See you tomorrow. September 26th. It's about 5 o'clock. Phone just blew up. Apparently, Zach shot his first deer with a bow tonight. I guess he arrowed a doe. And met up with Travis. We're going to go help him track it. Figure out what he's got going on. But, you know, if the shot's good and we end up finding it to be Zach's first deer with a bow. Maybe his first deer ever, I think. Anyway, pretty hyped up. Going to go meet up with him and get on this track early before it gets dark. We've got a couple hours, so see what we've got going on. Looks like a happy fucking camper right there, dude. Told you were gonna end up on fucking YouTube this year.
Good job. Yeah. We'll see what we can do. So.
What happened?
Smell it.
We're lighted. We got guts.
Yeah. What?
Explain what happened.
Yeah. So, first one, and that's no excuse, but I had her come in through the orchard, and she came in, got close, and I completely fucking missed her on the first one. She ran away a little while, looped back up and around, and came in behind my stand, and she was probably about 20 yards, and there was a window that I had, and I could just see the back end of her front shoulder and her head on the other side of a tree, and then the body was open. And so I just put my 20 pin a little bit high because I thought that she was a little bit further. And I probably just pulled it left is probably what happened.
Did you see where you hit?
I saw it sink right through her, but I was really focusing on my fundamentals and not looking at where my arrow went. So then afterwards she ran away and I saw it there and I was like, well, that's roughly where her vitals were. So sweet.
So when it hit, did it make like a pop sound? Can you or was it like a thud, or was it like a
I couldn't tell you.
or anything like that?
Couldn't tell you.
Didn't hear it?
No.
When she ran away, did she have her tail tucked? Did she hunch up? Did
yeah.
she mule
I don't
kick when she
I don't recall seeing the white tail at all when she ran away.
All right. Hear anything after?
Yeah, I saw her tear off, and then I saw her slow down and then just kind of disappear walking.
So she ran and then started walking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you feel about it?
Nervous.
Okay. Is this going to be your first deer?
Yeah.
Ever? And you got it with a bow?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I don't have it yet, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, is the rain going to mess anything up with this? Okay.
About to be a full-on pie of salt right here, boy.
It's better to take the 2 minutes to get the towel, because once your butt's wet, life's over.
Life is over when your butt is wet. Sit in the saddle.
Do it.
Got the axe ready?
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Wild hogs are going out. Oh, that sucks. You ready?
Yeah.
Maiden voyage.
Maiden voyage.
SSD.
USSD.
There you go. Oh, Jesus, you good? You all right?
Yep.
You wet?
Nope.
Okay.
Fucking. We're good.
That was close.
That was real close. This thing's not made for fucking
I'll bring you my other one.
adventuring.
How was the paddle?
It's not good.
Not good?
It's definitely worth buying a good kayak.
You gotta have a good kayak.
To buy.
How tall are you?
6'3".
What do you weigh?
Like 200 pounds.
200?
Yeah.
You went that little Sun Dolphin thing?
Yeah.
Spitfire 8-footer?
So I couldn't.
You know what the weight rating on that is?
Probably.
Like 100 pounds.
I'm probably there. Yeah. Probably well surpassed that.
It's alright. We
Got
got
to soak him wet. It's 5:45. Dakota and I just got set up in here. We took a long canoe ride in this morning. And we walked this swamp edge. We did walk up on one, what I suspect is a buck, that was bedded down on a knoll chewing his cud, and he stood up and trotted off. And then as we pushed another couple hundred yards in, we found a good pinch point between these two spine systems along this swamp. There's another deer that just kind of walked by us as we were setting up, moving through, but it didn't blow or anything, so we should still be in the money. It's thick in here. We're in like the hemlocks and pines and stuff, so we'll dump set up about 50 or 60 yards down from Dakota, covering the swamp edge because it's so thick in here. So if anything hooks the edge real tight, I might get a shot. And if anything stays higher up on the ridge, keeping the high ground, hopefully he can get something. But there's sporadic oaks in here, which is like tore up, so we might catch something through. Pretty excited about it. Let's go wrap it up. So, what we suspect to be a buck going in the dark. Ran him off. Had those two does come in about 10 yards from Dakota. Couldn't seal the deal. For October 1. Pretty fucking cold. Alright, well, we're out on the water. This is the same swamp piece I went in a couple weeks ago. Had those does come by and wind me. It's pretty calm, but there is a slight breeze today. It's warm, 66. Gonna get in here, scout the swamp edge on the opposite side that I hunted last week. See what kind of trouble we can't get into. Just got to the base of the island. This is where it pinches down right here. Goes out into the swamp. Over there. Back over there. There's a lot of track that coming off of it. Hoping for an eventful evening. Hope the bucks, if there are any bucks that are bedded out there, work their way up this far. We'll see.
beautiful day out today. We are going out for the afternoon. Went out yesterday all day, didn't have any luck. Got close to a couple does, couldn't seal the deal. Gonna head over to a spot, got a kayak across this big kind of lake thing, get back into a little inlet, and hopefully get close to some bedding. There's a lot of oaks, specifically white oaks, around this area, which I'm hoping if we can find a hot one that they've been feeding in. Hopefully we get set up on some hot sign and get something down today. I'm not gonna be picky, probably shoot a doe if we see one, or a buck. Hunting on the weekends is kind of putting a damper. Unlike last year, I went out pretty much every day, but it's a beautiful, gorgeous day today. Leaves are almost at peak foliage here in New England, so really red and orange, bright yellows. It's beautiful out. Not too hot, not too cold, so we'll see what happens. reach up over my saddle with my bow, turn it way back around like that, and draw. And it was tight. Legs started to cramp up on me a little bit, but I kind of forced it. Like I said, it looked like it hit a little bit far forward. I don't know if I got any of it on film. It's fucked. Yeah, whatever. So such is self-filming. So I'm gonna get down and see what I got. 6 o'clock. About an hour left of light. We'll see. Hopefully, I've got some blood or something here coming up shortly. Alright, well, we've got some blood. I don't know exactly if it's very good or not. Arrow didn't look too good, but seems to be leaking alright. Might have gotten lucky and caught something. It's starting to look a little bit better here. Well, here's the update. It's about 11 o'clock. Shot that deer at 6. I've been tracking it for probably 4 hours, very minimal blood, and I just walked up on it, actually eating acorns, and it looked up at me and then took off, and it seemed fine. So 450 to 500 yard total track, running uphill, stopping, eating, pooping, everything's normal. I didn't see exactly where I hit. This is somewhere in the front of the shoulder, in the neck. I was thinking if I hit the windpipe or any of the major arteries, probably would have been more evident by now, but the deer appeared to be acting normal. So unfortunately, looks like this came up empty-handed today, but humbling. Got a long walk out of here. One of my headlamps is already dead, despite putting new batteries in it at the beginning of the track. So hopefully this one holds too. I got a half-mile walk back to the kayak. Mile kayak out of here. So see you on the next one. All right, y'all. It is October 5th, 2022. It's 4:28 a.m. We're headed to a spot today where we gotta drag our kayak in a little bit, go across a pretty big river to get to a hard to access kind of little thicket that runs along the edge of this river. I've seen quite a few deer in here. I shot one really nice buck out of this piece during the rut. Don't necessarily think it's going to be holding a big buck right now, but we're just looking for pretty much any deer to get us by. So, pretty excited this morning, feeling good. Gonna jet over here, try to get in before, jet back into this bedding area before it gets too light out, and hopefully beat them back. That's not what we wanted to hear first thing this morning. I crept in here. It's getting set up about half an hour before shooting light. And a deer took off like 80 to 100 yards away from me. Just blew, like, I don't know, you heard it 8 or 9 times. And bounded off. It's one of the things about setting up with headlamps. It sucks. So anyway, I'm back in the Riverbend spot. Sat here once last year. Early season, saw a button buck skirt around me a little bit. Figuring this is a bedding area. October 10th, 2022. It's about
peak foliage. You can see behind me. All the leaves are about as bright and colorful as they're gonna get. Headed to a new spot today, having wifey drop me off because her car's in the shop. It's in a spot I've never been to before. It looks like it's a swamp that abuts up to a river, which is relatively close to the road, but I met a farmer there last week. I helped him load some equipment onto a flatbed and asked him permission to park at his barn and jet across the river back into this kind of swamp that abuts up to some ag fields. It looks like it's an awesome setup that would be kind of hard for normal people to access. I don't think anyone's going to want to throw on waders and jump across this river that's pretty close to the road, but the spot sets up super awesome and the ag fields are pretty big. Historically, I've heard of people seeing big deer in the area. So we're going to try it. It's October 10th. Nothing to lose. It's about 1:40 in the afternoon. We're going to jet over there, try to get set up quick. Alright, we just got set up. We're in this cool little kind of transition area. This tall switchgrass. It's got these thick tamaracks and dogwood kind of edge habitat that abuts up to this, along this river. It creates this sweet little fucking staging area next to these ag fields that are out behind me. I don't say ag fields, they're big hay fields, but New Hampshire doesn't have a ton of ag, so I'll call it ag for our area. It's October 10th. I don't know if the deer are still hitting the field that night heavy, or if they've already kind of transitioned back into the oaks. Don't see a ton of hardwoods up here. There's mountains nearby, so it looks like there are some beaten trails and some fresh tracks along the river. Walking in here, I'm not far from the road. I can see where my wife dropped me off from here, but it's thick. Thinking it'd be an overlooked spot, hoping anyway. Well, after those does worked through like 12 yards, they kind of hung out around the perimeter of that little clearing before making their way into the field. It sounded like I had deer around me, kind of working the same entry that they did, so I didn't film anymore. I didn't want to talk. I got down without a light and kind of tried to make my way out of there as quietly as I could, as to not compromise the tree, because it worked out well. I'm definitely going to be back in there probably in a couple weeks. But yeah, really cool. Saw those 4 deer and passed them all. Haven't seen a buck yet this year, but we've been seeing deer every time we've been out. So we'll take that as a win. See you on the next one. Alright, so here's the deal. Just found a nice little pullover spot. Never been here before. Checked our normal afternoon spots. Went and put a camera way up on the mountain. Didn't want to drag the camera around, just because I wanted to be quick so I could get in for an afternoon set. Found a new spot on a road never been to before. There's a couple fields that look like pretty decent big green fields with a big block of timber that abuts up to him. So we're gonna scout our way in here up this kind of little ridge. The fields are on top of the ridge. If we find hot sign, then we're gonna set up on it and see what happens. Well, this day's pretty much shot already. I didn't like the original spot that I ran into, so I ran back down, across the road, came into this other piece. But I'm behind these 2 fields, and it's 5:10, so there's an hour until sunset. Debating on getting down and just getting the fuck out of here. This doesn't seem like all that great of a spot. Alright, well, it's it's 6:15. 20 minutes of shooting light left. I don't know if I got on film or not originally. The 2 spikes come in. The bigger one busted me on the draw. He took off. That was about a half an hour ago. I filmed another deer down here. And then I think it was a group of does, or maybe the spike 2, but there was 3 or 4 deer. Alright, y'all. It is October 19th. Getting out. Just got off work. Going out for the afternoon hunt. It's 3:45. Kind of late. Tried to get off work a little bit earlier, but didn't really work out that well. So, gonna fly over to a spot here and jet out in the woods where got busted by a spike horn that was hanging out with a couple small bucks and then a big group of does that were working back end of this field, kind of a terrain pinch point. There's a steep bank off the back end of this field. I'm gonna try to fly out there, see if I can't get set up in time before the sunset movement kicks off. We'll see. Well, the struggle bus continues. And that first spike had come up, walk right up the trail. Couldn't stop him to get a shot. Second spike came up. Tried to stop him. Don't know if I was filming or not, so mad at him. Stopped him, and then he started walking again. And I was following him. Squeezed off a shot. Stuck it right into a little big ass fucking tree that was right in front of him. He tried to shoot him before he got behind the tree. Well, walked it right onto it and took out a chunk of the tree and stuck my arrow in there. So deer's fine.